Hi folks, my name's Jerky. I'm putting together a couple of videos to share how I kind of stay on my carnivore diet and try to keep costs down, so to speak. My first video I created was the meat chips, and I'll put a link down in the description for you guys to go grab. I've been on the carnivore diet for roughly a year now, and I've had more energy than I know what to do with. A lot of people are going, well, how do I stay as close to clean as I can? Well, one of the things I've discovered is you won't be able to stay completely clean, but at least you'll know what you're eating if you do things like this. So today I'm making some beef jerky for a road trip to Virginia. And if you like more of this content, please like and subscribe. And so stay tuned and I'll get started. So from my standpoint, I like using the beef top round that they thin cutly, and you can find them all. You can get a batch like this. This one ran me $11 at Walmart, but more often than not, what I like to do is go by my local grocery store. In this case, I'm in North Carolina, so Food Lion's the main digs around here, and I can get my top round at a manager special for roughly $2.40 a piece, or roughly $3, and so it ends up being about $4 a pound, which I pay a little more at Walmart. But if I can get it this way, I try to pick it up when I can, and I'll let you know how much this yields, and you'll be able to see this is definitely worth the time and trouble to do. All right, folks. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting up the meat to put on the trays. And what I find is, if it's thicker, I try to more make strips out of it. You'll notice that the stuff I got from Walmart was a little bit thinner, right? You can see comparatively, which makes better, wider jerky strips. And I'll show you both so that you get an idea of what we got going on. But in the meantime, I'll just cut these up. And you can see, you want to have a good knife. If you haven't invested in a good knife in the carnivore diet, you're going to want to invest in one. And so one thing to keep know about any knives is they all go dull. So you might invest in a whetstone and learn how to use it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to sharpen knives. And you can see I made light work of that very quickly. And at that point, I just take my trays that I have, and I just put these on the trays themselves. And so we'll do this real quick, and then I'll cut up one of the thinner ones to show you the difference. And you'll get an idea of how much jerky you'll end up getting out of this here shortly. So we'll try to make quick work of this. Like I said, in this case, I'm using the top around. You'll notice that there's not a lot of fat in it. I don't know what people use this for. Normally, I think it's like for fajitas. If somebody wants to enlighten me in the comments, I'll be more than happy to entertain any ideas that you might have. But you can see I get roughly a tray out of that. But when I go to the thinner stuff here, you'll see I'm going to cut it a lot wider. And what you'll find is this makes more of a jerky treat like you would be used to within a bag of jerky. So I'm going to stick it on a different rack here. And then we'll cover what, once I get all the meat cut, I'm not going to bore you with all that. Then we will go ahead and show you my next steps creating my beef jerky. So as I finish this up, we're going to go ahead and stack the trays and put some seasoning on the jerky. Now you can do this any way you like. You can just use plain old salt, or you can use your own seasoning, or use real salt. The thing I like about it though is that I'm choosing what I put on my jerky. And so this can get a little messy sometimes, so I'm going to put this over here and stick this on top. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab some salt over here. If I can find my salt. All right, so that took a little bit of time, but I was able to find my salt. So I like using real salt. But like I said, I know what's in it. And what I'll do is I'll stack the trays on top of each other while I'm doing this. Now, one of the things I also love to use is the Hardcore Carnivore fried turkey seasoning. It's got a little bite. I am not a strict carnivore, and so I don't have a strict carnivore diet. So I go ahead and I kind of cheat a little. But once again, I know what's on it. I can do things in moderation. If certain spices mess you up, I would not recommend going this route. But once again, I like it because I can control what I'm putting on there. So I'll do half of them in the turkey seasoning here, and some salt. And like I said, you can just use salt if you want to. Season to taste, a little bit, a lot bit. It's up to you. One of the other things I like using, which I'll kind of swap in here a little bit, is the Bearded Butcher's black seasoning. Now, they've got their own YouTube channel, and you can check them out. This one, I like it because it's got coffee in it. So, you know, for those who are like, well, that's not carnivore or what have you. Like I said, season your taste. This is what's working for me, and I have not had any issues, and I seem to be doing all right. I tell myself it took me 35 years to get to the state I was in. This is not going to happen overnight, and I don't need to make myself miserable doing it. So keep that in mind. Also, everybody's DNA is different. The smartest thing I heard anybody say is that because your DNA is different, what's going to work for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So we're done seasoning these up. We're going to stick them in the dehydrator and go from there. So this takes quite a bit longer to dehydrate than the meat chips. And you'll notice I've got about 5 trays in there. Not all of them are full, but it'll produce roughly a 1 gallon bag of jerky. And I'll separate the flavors as I go. And so basically I'm going to run this on high again, all the way. Mine is 165. And you'll see I'm going to run this, put 10 hours on the clock. Now what will happen is somewhere during the day I will come down and I will change this to 145 degrees after about 2.5 hours. It's not super critical that it's exact time, but I will let it run the entire 10 hours, but I'll reduce it to about 145. If you've got another dehydrator, you can run it on high for 2 hours, and then medium or low for the remaining 8 hours. But this is an all-day process, and it takes a while to dehydrate these. I'm not sure how cost-effective this is from a standpoint. It seems a lot more cost-effective to me, and I know what's in my jerky, and I can season this flavor to taste. So from that standpoint, it's a win. All right, so you notice it's been about 2 hours since I started this process. If you look, it's starting to look like jerky, but it's still going to be a little moist, and especially the larger cut pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the temperature on this. I'm going to leave it at about, I'm going to do 150. And then I'm going to increase the time back up to 10 hours. Now, don't be afraid to leave it in there longer than 10 hours. What happens is it'll only dehydrate so much. You'll only pull so much water out of the jerky, and it'll make it a little bit more crispy. And what you can do is it's getting closer and closer to your mark. You can actually test it to see if it's a consistency that you like. And so we're going to let this run, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning when this is finished. Good morning. Well, the beef jerky's done. And we go in here and we take a look, and we see that it feels like beef jerky. Looks like beef jerky. The pieces I cut up into more square, like strips, are also dried out. Okay, folks, kind of a quick comparison here. This is a standard package of beef jerky that I bought. I believe it ran me probably about almost $13. You can see there is quite a bit less here. If I were to hold this up a bit. Well, anyways, this is a standard gallon size bag. So you can see you're getting 2 to 3 times what you would normally get out of jerky, which makes sense since they have, you know, to worry about overhead and everything else that goes along with that. Now, keep in mind, I spent about $15 to $16 on this, but I only got part of it at a discount. I usually wait till I get it at a complete discount. That way, I pick up the meat at a fairly cheap price, and then I can go ahead and make it and store it. And like I said, this keeps for quite a while. Like I said, normally it don't last me more than 2 weeks, but it'll definitely keep that long. So that gives you an idea of what kind of yield you're going to get. Anyways, so this is what I do to help keep my costs down a little bit as far as buying beef jerky and protein snacks. It's good munching. My granddaughter loves it. She won't leave me alone half the time, and my wife digs in my bags too, even though neither one of them are on a carnivore diet. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. I'll leave comments down below with the link to the meat chips. In the meantime, may God bless you, and thank you for watching.